The honourable member for Truro, Bible Hill, Millbrook, Salmon River.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Labour and Advanced Education. When university students returned to campus last week, they returned to the fastest rising tuition fees in the country. This year, average tuition fees have gone up 5.5%, almost double the national average. And since this government came to office, they've gone up a total of 26%. We now have the second highest tuition fees in the country, and the minister's policies have us on track to have the highest. So my question for the minister is this: does the minister think skyrocketing tuition fees are good for Nova Scotia?
The Honourable Minister of Labour and Advanced Education.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It gives us an opportunity now to talk about the excellent universities we have in this province, as well as the excellent programs they offer. This is why university students from all over the country come here. We bring in more students per capita than any other province. Mr. Speaker, the member is right. The tuition fees reflect the quality of education, but Mr. Speaker, we could possibly have lower fees if the NDP hadn't cut 10% from the university's budgets.
The honourable member for Truro, Bible Hill, Millbrook, Salmon River.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I am getting so tired of this government trying to throw a former government from like 7 years ago under the bus. Get with the program here, folks. Students are still telling us that they're leaving the province to pay off their debt, and it's not hard to see why. The average student debt in Nova Scotia is over $39,000, one of the highest in the country, and yet we have one of the lowest median incomes in the country as well. And in 3 weeks, we'll have the lowest minimum wage in the country. So in other words, the minister is forcing young people to take on some of the highest debt loads in the country and then enter one of the lowest paid labour markets. So my question, Minister, for the minister, is could he please explain why he thinks that putting young people $40,000 in the hole is such a great policy for Nova Scotia?
Honourable Minister of Labour and Advanced Education.
Mr. Speaker, gives me another great opportunity to talk about our most generous student loan program, the most generous in the product. Mr. Speaker, when we came in, we eliminated the interest on our student loans. Then, Mr. Speaker, we went a step further and we said to the students, if you graduate, we'll completely wipe out your Nova Scotia portion. So, Mr. Speaker, while this government has increased the funding to universities every year, while the NDP cut out 10%, it's no wonder tuition fees rose. And, Mr. Speaker, I will also like to add that not only did the NDP cut 10%, they enforced a freeze on the universities with no prior knowledge, and the universities were stuck with abnormal tuition fees. NASCAD was stuck offering 6 courses for the price of 4, which hurt them very badly. And then the NDP went a step further and they started threatening NASCAD to move them into Dalhousie University. Shame on them.